Welcome back, nerds and nerdettes. We're going to get into some Marvel Rivals. I'm going to teach you how to play every character in the game on abilities, tips and tricks, advanced tips and tricks, and some combinations that will get you through the ranked ladder and help your team win. Let's snap into it. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the big green machine Hulk. A lot of people don't like Hulk. They say he's very difficult to use. Some people even say he's bad at the game. But I'm going to teach you how to utilize him so you can be a better player with Hulk, and teach you how to properly use him so you can be that disruptive nature which he's designed to be. Hulk has 3 forms, so you have to understand how to utilize him. You are primarily going to be in Hero Hulk form about 90% of the match. And we're going to go over all 3 forms so you understand how to use them. But you start off in Banner form. So Bruce Banner has 2 abilities. He has his Gamma Ray Gun. It does crit, but I'll teach you what the crit does. It does 16 damage per projectile. It shoots 5 rounds per second and has a 1.5 second reload time. This gun is really designed for if you are in Hero Hulk form and you take too much damage, it will revert you back to Banner. This gun will help you get your Gamma energy back. So when you critical strike a head, it gives you more gamma radiation back when you shoot it, so you can get back into Hulk form faster. It does have a slow projectile. The projectile, it's a single shot, even though it does 5 per second, so it's not like a burst damage or an auto. But the gun itself doesn't do a lot of damage. You're just doing this to get back into the fight as Hulk. He also has a Gamma Grenade. The Gamma Grenade is not a huge damage. It does 40 damage. It does do a displacement, so it will push a target back, or it will move you forward or up. He has no moveset outside of that grenade. That grenade does have an 8-second cooldown, so if you do use it, you will be pretty much obsolete on moving outside of your standard walk for 8 seconds. So you're going to want to make sure you are doing what I tell you to do in the video so you don't get put back into Banner phase, because you will instantly regret it. You will die virtually within seconds. At the beginning of every game, your ultimate is fully charged. So your puting Banner form turns you into the big green machine, which you're going to pretty much want to do almost instantly. That's your primary damage dealing, and that's your displacement. Hulk is a disruptive, in-your-face, jumping around, chaotic machine, and you need to use him that way. I'm going to teach you what all his abilities do, and I'm going to talk about some ways to utilize them properly so you can do the max amount of damage, can do the maximum amount of disruption to help your team really fight in team fights and things of that nature. So let's get into it. So Hero Hulk, when you transform, you have a whole new moveset. Your heavy blow, which is your physical punch, which is your primary attack, every 0.5 seconds, you'll do 40 damage. So 80 damage per second if you hit your target twice. This is your primary. This is when you're in your face. You're going to start punching people, getting some damage off. It's not a massive damage, but it is a very powerful damage to backliners, to DPS, to heroes that are healing. You can get in their face and they're going to have to stop what they're doing. So that's when he becomes disruptive. But there's a couple tips and tricks you're going to have to understand. You're not just going to want to run around punching everybody. Your Gamma Burst is your second ability. It has an 8-second cooldown. It does 70 damage. It's a projectile. It's your Hulk, your clap. It has piercing. It has no fall off damage, so anytime you're using this, it will do 70 damage through each target. There is no range where it will stop and do less damage. So this is a great ability to hit characters that are just fleeing from a fight, that are low health, characters that are flying. You're going to want to use this in close combat. So after you punch, you're going to want to Gamma Burst, then punch again. So you're already looking at 150 damage on a healer that's in a back line. It's a great tool to use. Obviously, you're not going to want to just aim sporadically at one target. If it's like far away, it's not going to do enough damage where you're going to be that impactful. So combinations, get the back line, punch, Gamma Burst, punch. Most likely going to be getting back out at that point. That 150 damage is going to make them look for a health pawn. It's going to push them out of the fight. Their healer has to change targets, especially if they're focusing on the tank in the front line. This is when he becomes powerful. A couple things you'll need to understand is his radioactive lockdown. I see a lot of people using this in a weird way, and I think that's what will take away a good Hulk and a bad Hulk, along with his leap and his guard. These next 3 abilities will transform Hulk into the monster he is if used properly. Your radioactive lockdown is your first ability. It only does 5 damage, so it's not designed to knock anybody out or kill anybody. It's a 15-second cooldown, which is very important to understand. It's a 2-second duration if you hit them. Your radioactive lockdown, your exile, will stop a target from getting healed or taking damage. So you do have to be careful when using this, that if your teammate is ulting or somebody's about to use a power move and you stop them and you exile somebody, somebody, they will not be hit by that ult. So you are going to want to have good communication. If you are exiling somebody, you might want to save in chat, talk to your team. Great way to help your team out is for them to know what's going on. Now, if you don't want to talk, just be cautious on when you use this. If you get into the back line, there's a DPS and a healer or two healers. You're going to want to exile the DPS or the primary healer, and then you attack the secondary healer. They cannot come out of this exile form unless you heavy blow them or gamma burst them. So if you punch them or use your clap, it will take them out of exile. Nobody else in the field can take them out of exile. So if you want them locked out for 2 seconds, they're locked out for 2 seconds. There's nothing you can do about it. One of his other abilities is indestructible guard. So Hulk will throw a bubble around himself and any teammate within 5 meters. It gives you 250 health shield, and it gives your allies 100 health shield. In a fight, if you are fighting, don't wait for 6 people to use this. Don't try to hit everybody and be the hero in one play. It's great to use if it's just 1 or 2 targets. Every time they take damage, their gamma energy will flow into you, which gives you your Hulk energy, which gets you into the next form faster. So in Hero Hulk, this will turn you to Monster Hulk. Now, you're not just going to want to use it for you and your allies, so don't just wait necessarily to just spam it for no reason. If no one's taking damage, you wasted a great ability, and it's got a 12-second cooldown. Your primary use for this is you're going to get into the back line, punch, gamma burst punch, shield. It's going to put 250 health on you. Now you can go back to punching till your burst comes back up, and then you can burst them or you can exile them. This will give you some health to stay in that back line because people are going to want to target you as soon as you get back there. Once that shield bursts, you're going to want to get out. So you say, well, how can I get in and get out so quick? Great question. Let's go over that. Your incredible leap. It doesn't have a cooldown. It's like a point-something second cooldown. So basically when you jump, you hold your charge or jump button or spacebar, whatever you're using. 2 seconds is a max charge. You can hold it for just a second, do a little bit of a leap, but your 2 seconds you can jump up in the air, you can jump to the side, you can jump all the way over teams to get in the back line. This is your in and out fighting ability. You're going to want to hold your jump key the whole time you're using Hulk. That blue arrow should always be up on your screen. That's how Hulk becomes disruptive. You get in, you do some damage, you throw up a shield, do some more damage, leap back out. If you use this jump and you're near a wall and you hold your spacebar or jump key, it will cling onto the wall. Now, a great thing for this is if you are leaping and you're in a map where you got high ground and they're coming through funnels or tunnels or through damage walls and they're just waiting to find poke damage. You can wait for the healers and DPS to come through there. You can drop down on them unexpectedly because most times they're not looking up unless there's a flyer on your team. When you drop down, you can use your game burst on the way down for damage. And then as soon as you land, already taking 70 damage, and now you're punching them in the face. Most of the team didn't see you go back there, so half the team that's in front probably won't hear anything if they're not communicating. You throw up your shield, you do some more damage. Now they have no healer or no DPS in the back line, and they're facing your entire team of 4. So his incredible leap is very versatile. This is what will make you a good or bad Hulk player. You're going to want to jump around the map everywhere. Jump high, jump low. If you jump and you're near a wall and they're aiming at you, they're expecting you to fall back down. If you cling onto a wall, you're going to disrupt their aim. You jump back down. Now they got to go back up after they were just trying to go down. It really plays a lot of mind games with people. Venom's another great one of this, and I'm going to talk about him in a future video. So utilize your jump, your shield, your bubble, and your exile properly, and you will be a good Hulk player. Now his bubble, one last thing we can go over is it will block ults. It will take damage from the shield, so you won't get one tapped by Iron Man. It won't be able to Jeff. It can be immune to Jeff. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. Once again, don't wait for those hero moments. Use them if they're there, but use your shield to protect you in that back line. You will take the damage anyway. That 250 health won't last too long. On top of that, it helps build up your gamma radiation. Once your gamma radiation's all the way max, you'll have your ability in Hero Hulk form, which is your ultimate going Hulk smash. Once you turn into the Monster Hulk, you get another moveset. Changes up a little bit. Same set, but different ability. Once you get enough gamma radiation, you turn into Monster Hulk. Your moveset changes a little bit as far as damage and what's capable of doing. We're going to talk about that now. Your Heavy Blow now does 70 damage and has a knock-up. So a good combination is you do your knock-up, you can do a jump, you can do a knock-up, you can do a gamma burst. All of this will push targets further away. So when you're in Monster Hulk form, it doubles your health pool. You do lose your bubble, so your bubble shield, your guard shield does go away, but it doubles your health pool, so you're much stronger than you would be if you had a bubble anyway. So 70 damage on your punch. Your Gamma Burst now does 125 damage and only has a 1-second cooldown. It has a wider hitbox and it has piercing. So when you are using your Gamma Burst, you can pretty much spam this ability. It's almost a 1-second action time anyway, so it's just pretty much clap, clap, clap. Now, you're not going to just want to sit in the back row. You're not a Hawkeye or a Hela. You're not doing the headshot damage they are, but it does 125 and it does do piercing. Anytime you are using a projectile in this game, always shoot to the right side of the target. So if you're shooting towards the head, do the right side of the head. It's a little more favorable as far as the hitbox. Anytime you're diving towards target, aim to the right. When you aim to the left, you tend to miss a little bit more. For some reason, this game loves the right side. It's not equally transparent on the hitbox. Now, your radioactive lockdown does have an ability change. It's still a 2-second lockdown. It's a 5-second cooldown. So it only does 5 damage, but during your exile. So it's exile for 2 seconds, but every 0.5 seconds, it does 25 damage. So if you leave somebody in exile state and you don't take them out, it's a full 100 damage, and they're immune to any heals, and when taking damage from you. Once again, you can remove it by a heavy blow or a Gamma Burst. If you exile somebody, you can attack a target, hit a couple targets, go back to that exile target. They are 100 damage more. You can Gamma Burst and punch them. Once again, your Monster Hulk is unbelievably disruptive. You are going to want to use this form as much as you can, which is why I teach you how to get your Gamma Shield up so you can get in the Monster Hulk form. There are some games you can hit Monster Hulk form 4 times. Sometimes. I think I did it one game. I did it 5 times right at the end. One of his other abilities, his ultimate, he is going to grab you and smash you like he does Loki in the movies. And then he's going to stomp on you. I don't recommend using this ability unless you're at the very end of your ultimate. If you're low health, you're going to transform into banner. So you're going to want to make sure you don't put yourself in a situation where you're just standing there hitting a target because you were not immune during that time. You can still take damage even though it's a 30% damage reduction while you're in that form. So if you are smashing a target, you'll grab them, you'll hit them on the ground, delivers 5 blows, does 40 damage each. It's a great finisher, especially if you have health available, since it will be a 30% reduction in damage, and you're doing massive damage to one target, especially if it's like a healer in the back line. So don't use this as a primary attack. I see a lot of people go Monster Hulk, charge at somebody, do the World Breaker, and then they're pretty much dead because they haven't done any of the other damage and they're just standing still. So knock out 1 or 2 players, exile 1, and you're at the end, World Breaker. You should get at least 2 exiles off, so you should be doing 200 damage just with exiles alone. And then on top of that, you still want to jump around and leap. Some great combinations. Once again, punch, get them disoriented up in the air. You should be holding your jump already. So when they're in the air, you jump, you push them back. You can do your Gamma Burst, and then you can punch them again. You can do your punch and the Gamma Burst in the air. So you're going to want to do those 2 combinations, punch, Gamma Burst, because when it pops them up in the air, they're going to be useless. Now, if they are flyers, your jump, which I didn't mention earlier, can grab them in air. So if you have a Star-Lord or a Spider-Man, they're hard to hit. It's not going to be easy. You go in the practice field. Jumping straight up is a lot harder than jumping at an angle. So you're always going to want to be at like a 45 to 70 degree angle. You're not going to want to jump straight up. It's very hard to hit the target that way. So you want to come at it at more of a range angle. You can do it. It has been done. I've done it several times. But if you're trying to waste jumping at a target over and over and over, it's not really beneficial to your team. I would say maybe 1-2 jumps max. If you don't hit him with those 2 jumps, go do something else. Come back at it later. But practice this in the practice field because this is where your Hulk form can take its next step to being an amazing player opposed to just being a good player. Good Hulk players are always jumping around. They're always doing damage. They're exiling. They're getting in and out of the back lines. They're taking down high flyers. They're blocking abilities with their guard. They're building back up to Monster Hulk form where they're doing mass damage. So you're going to want to use all these abilities when in your Hulk form properly. Cling walls for disruption. Do your damage punches. Do your exiles. Do your Gamma Burst for piercing. Get into the forms. Change them properly. Do what you can not to get into banner form. Once again, if you take more damage while you're in Hulk, Hero Hulk, or Monster Hulk form, you will revert all the way back to banner, and then you're pretty much useless to your team. I hope this guide helped you. If it did, drop a like, subscribe, turn the notifications on. I'm going to be doing a video for every single character in this game, and I hope you enjoy. I'll catch you in the next one.